For this project, you're going to need a Dollar Tree frame, and you can do these at any sizes. You can, you will see in just a second that we bought multiple sizes of Dollar Tree frames, and we thrifted some at the thrift store and had some glass left over from other picture frames where we used to frame at a different project. So if you have a bunch of frames laying around the house that you need to do something with, this is a great project to use those with. All right, so you just remove the backing of the picture frame and the stuffing inside, and don't throw this away. We use these pieces for other things too, so we're always trying to be a little free. We are always trying to reuse supplies that we can make into art in other ways. We created a document of words that we wanted to use and then printed them out and just taped that to the back of the glass. Now, I will tell you, we did the words in the correct direction. For this project, if you want the words, if you want all of the paint to be on one side of the glass and the black, including the black lines, because you're going to do your black lines first, and then you're going to paint the color that you want your stained glass to be. We did the words in the correct direction and then realized that means the paint would be on the wrong side of the glass. So for you, we flipped the words so that you can do this. Your words would be backwards on this side of the glass, and then you would draw the lines, and then when you flip the glass over, your words will be in the correct direction and all the paint on one side of the glass. Now, if you don't mind the black lines on this side of the glass and the color on this side of the glass, then just print them in the right direction. But I do think it's prettier when all the paint is coming through and shining from the glass. So that's up to you, it's preference. You can use any kind of frames, and if you don't like the color of these frames, these are paintable too. You can spray paint these, use some chalk paint on them if you wanted to neutralize them, or some rub and buff if you wanted to glam them up a bit. But I haven't decided. I kind of like the silver. I haven't decided what color Christmas is going to be this year at the house. So we're just going to leave this and then make that decision later. All right, so what I did is I just taped the word. So I taped the printout to the back of the glass, like so. And then using our mixture of Elmer's glue and black paint, black acrylic paint, mix this together, just poured this on a plate, piece of styrofoam, and with a paintbrush, this is the important part. You don't want to smear your lines out flat because it's going to make them broken and see-through and stuff. You kind of want to just be on top of the, just barely tickling the paint so that you're laying kind of a thick line of this glue, because it found that the thicker the line is, the better it looks on the glass. So I'm going to take this off so I can see, so I can show you what I'm talking about. Do you see how some of the lines here are a bit thinner? That's because I pressed down and smeared my glue out. So what I'm going to do is just darken these lines out a little bit. And then you're going to let this dry. And once it's dry, you flip it over and you paint your designs on the other side. Now, if you want more than just the words, you can come in and divide your spaces out with the black lines also. So let's say we wanted this to have pieces that went out like this of stained glass. You would just draw your lines. So we have love, joy, and peace. And I'm going to end up doing these three, even though they're different fonts. I'm going to end up painting these very similar so that they have that as the thing that unites them. For the color, you are going to need Elmer's Clear school glue. And this is going to allow your paint to be transparent, and you can see through the light, through the glass, and through the colors, and it's going to look like stained glass, and it's really pretty. You can even create textures in the paint onto the glass, and it takes this dries very fast, so you want to just mix a small amount up as you go. Now I'm just going to take a styrofoam plate and pour some of this clear glue, not much, and then our favorite liquid watercolors. And for kids, these are awesome because they are washable, but I will say it does stain white clothing. So it may say washable, it is gonna stain. So don't wear your best clothes when you do this project. But do you see how intense the color is? How vibrant? This pigment is wonderful. So we love this. And I'm just gonna pour a little bit of that on this plate. Not much, doesn't take much. And I'm gonna put a little bit of yellow and a little bit of blue, because yellow and blue make green. And I'm gonna make some different variations of green. And you can see how vibrant that is, how intense. All right, so let's just pick a little bit of this glue up and a little bit of this watercolor. And the more glue you use, the less pigment your color is going to be when you paint it. So you can always add more paint or more glue depending on what color you want to achieve. You know, I might even add a little black to this so that I can darken up some colors here. Now, liquid watercolor, black is not really black. It's either going to be, depending on the name brand you buy, dark green, dark blue, gray, or maybe even a purple tint. So this one, let me just show you. This one tends to be more of the gray tones, but it's still pretty. We just need it to darken up some green. All right, and then you just start painting. Now, because the glass surface is slick, the more you move the paint around, the more lines you're going to create in it, or the more textures you're going to create in it, or you're going to wipe some of it away like that. So just put it on there. You can always add more layers to it. And then once they're dry, you can decide if you want to outline your color on this side of the glass like you did the letters, leave it, or bump it up with some gold paint pen. Just up to you and your style. Now I'm going to show you how you can add designs to your glass. This is just another piece of glass from the 3.5 by 5 Dollar Tree picture frame. And this time, I want to add some designs, but if you're not really crafty or feeling artistic, grab a coloring book that has designs in it. It could be your favorite characters, it could be just pretty designs that you like. In our Freebie Library, link is below, you can find coloring pages where we have drawn flowers and other items if you want to use something like that. But I just pulled a coloring book that we have with lots of mandala designs because it reminds me of stained glass. And I just pulled the page out of a design that I liked, or I used a section of a design that I liked, and then place your glass on top of it. Okay, I'm going to use this piece of this design. So you just tear out your coloring page. And then place your glass on top of the design area that you want. I think I want these two dragonflies and this flower. And you don't have to use all the design if you don't want to. Now, I will recommend putting a piece of tape down to hold your glass. All right. Then, with our same black acrylic paint and Elmer's glue mixture, you're just going to start drawing what you see. You can use any part of the design. You don't have to use all of it. And you want to build up on your brush, your paint and glue, and not fan it out too much with the bristles. And just kind of stay on the top and just drop your paint and glue. So now that I have this section drawn on my glass, I want to move this around and maybe you can move this around and add another section to it if you want to. Like, I like these leaves right here. And you would just draw in the sections that you want. You don't have to keep the design the way it is on the glass. Or the way, you don't have to keep the same design of the paper or coloring book that you're using. Or draw your own designs. Come up with all sorts of fun ideas. It also helps not to drink coffee as you do this, unlike me. And then you just set that aside and let it dry, or you can use a hair dryer to speed up the process if you're a bit impatient like I am. Once this is dry, we can come in on this same side. We can come in and begin to add our color with the clear school glue and the liquid watercolors. You're going to let this dry, and then I'll show you how we're going to put it all together. Okay, I have done several of the drawings on glass. Then I took that gold paint pen and I printed off some words, put them underneath the glass, and I drew on top of the glass. So all the paint is on the other side. All the paint is underneath on this side, but I used the gold pen on this side. I just think it was a little bit shinier, and you didn't see the brush strokes from the pen when you do it on the top of the glass. And then I got a little carried away and started adding little dots to the glass. Now, how we're going to hang this. Okay, so how we can assemble this and the things that you can do. You can see I broke a piece of glass, a corner off of this glass. I kind of sad that broke, but I'm going to just go with it. You can purchase the metallic tape in a link below and wrap your edges over the glass with the tape and just fold them over. And then hang them by, I found these gold binder clips at Hobby Lobby. So you can take these clips and add a little bit of fun foam to the inside of the binder clip so that when it hugs the glass. It's not scary. Doesn't sound like it's going to break it. And it just cushions it, makes it a tighter hold. But then you can take this and just run some ribbon through here and display this inside your window. Now you can glue the binder clip to the glass, and then you're able to hang it in your window. Now you can also put your glass back in the frame and hang it. You can put your glass back in the frame by just running it through. Add a little bit of hot glue into the corner so that the glass doesn't jiggle. And just glue some ribbon to the back of your frame so that you can hang it in your window or use it as an ornament on the tree. So we're going to show you several ways how we have displayed our painted stained glass. Let us know how you use your stained glass in the comments below. And in our Freebie Library, we have flower or floral coloring pages with Bible verses on them. And you can download several of those and turn some of the flowers in any direction that you want. That will help you put flowers onto your glass or draw your own. Have fun. Some of these are from the coloring pages. Some of these I've just drew freehanded on this piece of glass. This is a very large oval piece of glass that I got from the thrift store. And I used the frame in a project in my master bedroom. And I had this glass left over and got to thinking, what can I do with this glass? It's a great piece of glass. We don't need to throw it away. Hey, we could paint this and we could make it look like stained glass. And that's where this video took off. So I have already done a layer, but if you pull this away from the white paper, it's still pretty transparent. And because this glue is transparent, the clear Elmer's glue, you can do textures in it. And I might have gotten a little bit over zealous with the texture. I'm not sure I really love it. So I think what I'm going to do is come back on top of this with another layer, which will hide this a little bit and make it not quite so busy. And then I want to make some of these flowers a little bit more vibrant because away from the white paper, they're really transparent. So you can build layers with this. The color that's going to be seen first, though, is the color that you laid down first. When you lay something on top of the other color, it may deepen the color, but you're still going to see what you did on the very first layer. So just keep that in mind.